911, good evening.
I never intended to be a pilot. I was of the moment, and the day I wrote my last exam, I was passing by the fire service at that time. It was on Jeremy Street in Castries. So I know something just told me go in and get an application. I applied, and I got there a couple of months after, and I've never regretted being here. My father is a police officer, my uncle, so I think it was maybe predestined.
We have police officers on both sides. My father being a veteran of 37 years, retired as a sergeant. And on the Chico side, we have a number of police officers within the organization itself.
After my first few months of training, the police officer in me started to come out.
I chose this path because I was always interested in making a difference. And I felt that with the police force, you can reach more people. You can reach people that I need.
Actually, my dad wanted me to be a police officer because he used to be one, and then he always wanted one of his children to be a police. I guess I was the one who took up the challenge.
Very few of us knew what to expect. We just went into this thing, a lot of us, as an employment opportunity, not a career path. You know, there were one or two of the persons on my course who were older than the rest of us. And I must mention ex-Commissioner Rages. Some of the recruits on my course used to call him Daddy Ridge, because of his experience and everything, and he guided us well on that course.
Everybody up with it, 90-degree angle.
35, 36, 37.
Up, down, up, Smith, get there, down.
Training was tough. The first month, we had a lot of physical endurances to keep up with.
Down, up.
I'm not even sure if I can do a pull-up. We had to do pull-ups. It was, how can I say, it was impossible for me.
1, 2.
The time training was done, I was like a lollipop. Like my head was big and my body was small. So like it was really terrible. I broke my ankle during the training, but to make it even more testing, I couldn't get a shoe to fit.
The first week was like hell for me. And I asked to go back home, but I was refused.
Basically, I'm a traffic accident investigator. Also, I'm an outrider on motorcycle, so I have other responsibilities also includes police escort, highway patrol.
Okay, even if you have the sticker, we still need to inspect.
You'll be driving behind somebody or you'll be standing someone, you'll see someone overtake at a corner, and sometimes even going to speak to these persons poses a challenge to you. Now, one of the things I have observed, I have stopped many drivers before for doing some sort of, unlawful act while driving. And the passengers on board the vehicles will be the ones who will be basically attacking you, verbally, so to speak.
We conduct searches upon persons that we see look suspicious, even on properties too. We execute tickets, traffic tickets, as well as traffic.
It's not only about doing raids, knocking on person's houses in the morning, but there's a lot more to it. I almost lost my life, and it will live with me for a long time. Then you realize that the job that you're doing is demanding, not only physical, but your life is put on the line. If you give it good thought, and you know the benefits, you know that you're actually saving a generation, you're protecting the public, you're protecting your family, you're protecting your country.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Miss. Today we are here to give you a lecture on emotional violence.
At Community Relations, we provide lectures. We believe in being proactive. We deal with interventions where if there is a problem at the school, the principal will call CRB, say between two children, a fight or a threat or an assault. We've dealt with issues of kids who don't have anything to go to school, where we find donations for them to send them to school. We have a lot of donors that we'd go to if a parent just doesn't have uniform, books, money for transportation. We would seek that for them.
The first thing we are greeted by are the guys on the show say, "Hey officer, y'all okay?" Because they're always watching out for us. Where we get off, where we walk to. Working in a department like mine, you have to take each day as it comes. Never take anything for granted. Because if you leave home one morning, there's never the guarantee that you'll be back.
My responsibilities are to oversee the full repairs and manage the police vehicles. Make sure they are roadworthy, keep them in proper working condition.
Because he's been drinking and what we just need to know what his sugar level is, because if it's too high then he'll be hyperactive and such.
The night shifts, these are what tax us the most. At first glance, I noticed that the patient would have been in trouble because he wasn't following instructions properly, and his friends were basically pushing him on in being combative.
Audio Jungle.
We went into the building, it was smoke filled.
They called for backup already, so V4 was on the way. V4 came, we got water, and I started working hard. There, I worked hard. I worked my tongue out there that night.
The fire was in the ceiling of the other high-rise building, so you have to go into the building, went to the top of the building, and then attack the fire from inside.
Imagine, up to now, I walk in town and people tell me, "Thank you," they can remember I was on that fire.
We picked that patient up, he was unresponsive, and we put him in the ambulance. We began our intervention, CPR and whatnot. All his vitals were negative, so obviously we began CPR. And we transferred him to the polyclinic, and in doing our CPR, that patient was revived. So that was one of the most memorable situations that I've had, is bringing a patient back.
Most profound experiences, having to be a mother to children who are not mine every day. It's hard.
Even on conclusion of one of my homicide cases where they found a guy guilty, the deceased mother actually held me for like 10 minutes hugging me. Yeah, she was like thanking me, for investigating the case, because the guy was convicted. He was given 35 years, and she told me, "Officer Matthew, you know what? God will bless you, and just thank you for everything. I know my son is gone. There's nothing much I could do now, but thank you, thank you, thank you."
Ready? Brace. Play. Heavy, don't worry. Heavy. Brace. Play.
The greatest, biggest, enormous challenges
the lack of human resources that can perform those skills. I mean, the lack of advanced EMTs or even basic EMTs, because we have more first responders at this time. The lack of available ambulances, not enough.
Most of our equipment are either defective or they're not up to date, they're not satisfactory in the way they operate. Like our hoses, most of our hoses have, they leak, our lugs leak.
Equipment, and we'll zero it down to transportation.
Sometimes reports are made and we have only one vehicle, and in some places like Castries, you have several reports at one time, and you cannot handle all at the same time. We have one vehicle, you have to wait, and that is a problem. In truth and in fact, we need battles for sure. We need handcuffs, bulletproof vests.
Also, we're speaking about gear for the police officers, raincoats, gloves, you know, helmets, proper helmets. Stuff like reflective cones or some signs which blinks or which lights up to alert the drivers that there's an accident ahead. I think these little things should make it much easier.
We also need a staff of mechanics who are competent, properly trained, and all equipment, tools is the next necessary thing in order to keep a fleet of vehicles on the road. You need proper tools.
We have over 50 persons at the department. And when there's leave cancelled, sometimes leave is cancelled for 3 to 4 days for carnival and stuff like that. And guys have to be sleeping on the hard floor everywhere on courts because there are not enough beds, sufficient beds for everybody to get one. We have guys working 12 hours and they only have one pair of uniform. They work every other day, every 12 hours, and they have only one pair of uniform. So they have to rush, wash their uniforms, and then to put that same uniform. If they get wet or whatever, they just have to let it dry on them and continue their duty with that same uniform.
The police force is going through trying times now. The majority of men and women on the force are well-intentioned, hard-working citizens of St. Lucia.
We don't go out for ourselves, but for you, the public, to ensure that you are safe, to ensure that you are able to walk the streets of St. Lucia without any fear.
I would ask them that anytime the police come with any request or with any good venture that is going to improve police-public relations, I'd ask them, don't think twice.
Yeah, okay.
I think I have to go, you know. That's my call there.
That's your call?
Yeah.
Oh, glad to go.
Yeah, I'm the only driver left there.